Hello, welcome to another Cook With Me. In today's video, I'm making gluten-free pumpkin oat cookies with white chocolate chunks, as well as a chicken, bacon, and chive dairy-free chowder. First up are the cookies, so we're starting off with all those fall spices, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, cinnamon, and of course salt. Then we're going to use arrowroot starch and gluten-free oats, pureed pumpkin, 2 eggs, baking soda, almond flour. I get almond flour at Costco and it's super affordable there, just an FYI. Organic coconut sugar, white chocolate chunks, 100% pure maple syrup, vanilla extract, as well as coconut oil. So starting off, we're preheating our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Next, I'm mixing together all of the dry ingredients in a separate mixing bowl. And just a side note, these cookies are very, very soft and chewy. Like the first day when they come out of the oven, they have a nice crispy outside and soft inside. But after they've been in a container, Ziploc, for about a day or two, they do get really soft. My boyfriend loves them. He's been eating multiple a day. But if you want a more dense cookie, I would recommend adding either an extra cup of almond flour or oats. For the wet ingredients, I'm starting with the coconut sugar and coconut oil and mixing them for about a minute or so until you can see it gets soft, fluffy, and well incorporated. I've mentioned it before in previous cooking videos, but always a good idea to crack your eggs into a separate bowl in case you get any shells in there, but I always like to take the risk and I just crack them right into the bowl. And a special appearance by Walter, of course. Always has to check out what I'm doing. He's such a sweet, curious boy. These cookies don't really spread out very much, so as you can see here, I'm just using a fork to flatten them down a little bit so that they're not raw in the middle. It's always a good idea to let your cookies cool for a few minutes on the baking sheet. They're really soft when they first come out of the oven, so by giving it a few minutes before transferring them to the cooling rack, you prevent them from falling apart. Let me know if you give these cookies a try. They're so good for fall and really good if you're gluten-free as well. Next up is my dairy-free chicken bacon chive chowder. For this recipe, we're using bacon. I'm only using about 3/4 of a package, but you could use a whole package too. Yellow baby potatoes, cremini mushrooms, garlic, chives, which are actually from my garden. I was so excited. Oat milk, coconut milk, chicken stock, yellow onion, a can of corn, arrowroot starch, as well as 2 chicken breasts. I always love whipping out this big pot, but you definitely don't need to use one this big. This soup only filled like half of it. Once the bacon gets brown and crispy, I'm just taking it out and putting it aside in a separate bowl. I like to leave all of the bacon fat in the pot, but you could definitely strain some out if you want. The chicken, onions, mushrooms, all of that just soaks it all up, adds so much flavor, and you'll see shortly the pot gets deglazed and all those little bacon bits are going to coat the chicken and vegetables and adds a ton of flavor. Here I'm only cutting about half of the chives to add to the pot. Later on I will cut up the other half of the chives to add right at the end. You want to make sure that your coconut milk has been in the fridge for at least a few hours so that it separates. We are only using the solid part of the coconut milk. Once you've added all of the liquids to the pot, I'm just using a ladle to take out about a cup, and we're going to add the arrowroot starch to it to make a slurry. After adding the slurry in, we're turning the heat right back up to high, and we're going to let it boil for about 5 minutes or until it starts getting nice and thick. After the chowder's thickened, I add the chives at the end just to help keep that nice, crisp, fresh onion flavor, and then you'll see shortly I wait to add the bacon till the end as well. This is the last but most important step. Do not forget to add grated cheese. It absolutely completes this chowder. I just used a goat cheese marble and then topped it with chives and a little bit of leftover bacon. So delicious. Please let me know if you make this soup or the cookie recipe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.